Well, good morning, Flockers. Live with Max. What do you think, Max?
Yeah, we've got a live stream happening. I'm just gonna walk the camera over, clip it in. Oopsies, there we go. And do we have anybody joining us? I see a like, so I think we've got at least one person. Now people are coming. If you are joining us, chime in, give us a big buck box, say hello. Our ornithology dude is here. Connie, KT Spirit. Hello, Jess. Glad that you can join us. We have Pie Girl. Tango Elliot's here. Bok Tango Elliot. Sorry, I'm just playing with the tripod. I realized I had one too many legs down, and it is a bit of a manual process. There, that's a better view of Max. Figured you wanted to see his pretty face, not just his chair. Hello, Greenbird. Bok, everybody. Always exciting to see you. So we are definitely indoors today, and we've got a lot of forest fire smoke coming in from BC, which means the air quality is quite poor. That means Max. Maxwell. That means the air quality is quite poor and we are indoors. Max, would you like an eggie? I have to cook it. You want me to cook you an eggie? Okay, you wave at me about that eggie. Let's see. Let's see if we've got eggs in the fridge. What do you think, Max? Is it eggie time? Or is it crawl down and play with the box time? Well, if we want to go down and play with the box, we can do that. I'm just going to drop us so we can watch what's going on. Here we go. So Max usually doesn't chew on the boxes quite like that. But that's okay as long as he's not chewing on his chair. How many people think that Max is just biding his time to chomp the chair? And you're climbing up again, Max. I think Max knows that I'm in the kitchen getting him eggies ready. So I'll be over to fix the camera in just a minute. I just have to get this in the microwave for you, Max. Okay. Microwave, egg cover. I caught you chomping the chair. What did we say about chomping on the chair, Max? I'm pretty sure we said no chomping. Yeah, I know you want your beak fest. While you're waiting, would you like to chew on another box? I have a smaller box here. I'm going to pop it right there. It's an empty box. But boxes and birds, hours of entertainment, or seconds of entertainment. How about some paper? Max, I think we have egg all over the microwave. I heard a sound that sounded like an eggy exploding. Okay. Oh yeah. We have microwave and we have eggy everywhere. Now I'm not quite sure how that happened because I did give the egg a quick stir and I always cook them in the microwave. So, oh boy, we've got a big mess over here, Max. What did you do? Did you do something in the microwave, Max? Oops. One big boom. I was using an egg cooker. At least I had it covered. Although the microwave is still coated. Still coated in egg. Well, Max, I got a mess to clean up. Big mess to clean up. While you're waiting for me to clean up the mess, are you looking for some eggies to eat? You might like some eggies to eat. Just notice the light over here is not great. Should I give an extra light? Let's see. Light, plug, and go. There we go. Some more light, Max. Just for you. We'll move those over here. Grab a couple of pieces of newspaper so it's easier to clean up afterwards. Whoops. I'm going to trip over the light. So that's just what we do, right? We trip on the light. Okay, let's put that down here. And let's put that here. Oopsies. Okay, Max. Are you in sight, Eggy? All right, let's bring that up a little bit. So I just set up some newspaper so it's easier to clean up after, Max. Like some more eggy? Do you like a little bit better view there? Tico's looking for eggy too. Hey, Ticks, you want some eggy? Got it. Got it. Max, no, leave the paper. We don't want to clean up from breakfast just yet. Well, we definitely have sort of a scrambled eggie today. It's a microwave scramble. You know, I cook eggs in the microwave often, and I've never had them explode like that. And I did give it a quick stir, so the yolk was broken. So I'm not quite sure what happened. It's okay, Max. I rescued a bit of egg for you. This is probably not the best egg that Max has ever had, but hey. I guess we are eating off of a fork today. KT, he always gets eggies. I just saw Tango Elliott asked about rice. Absolutely. And when we cook rice around here, I cook rice for the birds. That means when I cook it, I don't add any salt or oil. I just cook very, 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 very plain rice. I try to remember if I have people over to warn them that they have to salt their own rice because plain rice can be very bland. And what I do is I cook that up for the birds. They eat plain rice, and then I dish it out on my plate, and then I season it on my plate. So if I want a bit of salt on it or a little bit of butter on it or something, I can add that there. But you know, I probably use a lot less salt, butter, or anything on my plate than I would if I was adding it when I was cooking the rice. That's just all the little bitties. I know, Max. Itty bitties. You notice he's giving me a little bit of a baleful look as if this is not quite the way eggs are supposed to be served. It's supposed to be larger pieces that he can get his beak into. Okay, Max. That's an eggie. So Max, we'll have to cook more eggie later when the microwave's clean. Wow. That made a huge mess, Max. Did you have anything to do with that, buddy? Oh, you're feeling kind of cheated. I'm going to give you a cracky. Would you like a cracky? Salt reduced. Max, was that good? Would you like a stick of pasta? Climb up. Climb up, honey. Oh, you want some pasta? There. Gonna stay put, maybe? Let's go here, drop this. Is that good, buddy? That pasta is good. Oh my. I've honestly not made that big of a mess in a microwave in a very long time. I don't quite know what happened. What I do is I use a microwave egg cooking container. I give the egg a quick mix so that the yolk is not intact. If you don't poke down the yolk, you will have an explosion. I gave that one a quick stir, and I poked it well with the fork. Put it in the microwave. Thankfully, I put a cover over top of it, but it blew hard enough that food came through the vent sides of the cover. So really, really weird. So I still have a big eggy mess in the microwave to clean up, but that's okay. Max can have a bit more egg later. Hello, Brian from the Bronx. Hey, Connie, Doris. Yeah, I see we have some people joining us, which is always, always exciting. So, if you're just joining us, you missed the excitement of exploding eggs in the microwave. But hey, now it's time for snacks. Max, guess what I got for you? I have grapes. Whoops. Would you like some red grapes? I'll put those there. That good? Can we grab those? I see your beaks in the air. We have limited breakfast choices. Can't cook anything else in the microwave right now. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back so we can see what Max is chewing on. I'm gonna jostle the tripod for a minute. Bear with me. Oops. There we go. One good view of Max. JL, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Max is more interested in the box of grapes, but that's fine. He can chew in the box today. While he's busy chewing in the box, I'm going to grab myself a little bit of coffee because apparently I need some this morning. So we have had a busy week. Most of it's been spent indoors. It's been quite warm. Oh, give that a toss. Thank you, Max. He did not want newspaper. He did not want grapes. So warm weather again. It's really been a weird summer for weather. In Calgary, we are not used to that much warm weather. We set a number of records the other week. This week we had some continued really hot temperatures. Max was unhappy. And if you have a parrot, you'll know the signs of I'm hot and unhappy. With Max, what he does is he stands and he holds his wings out a little bit. It's a little bit away from his body as if to air out his wing pits. And he just gives the most baleful look in the world. He definitely does not enjoy the heat when it gets that hot. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we try to keep cool with some spray showers. Tico really enjoys eating ice when it gets this hot. But usually when it's hot, what we do is in the evening when it cools down, we open up the windows, we get some cross flow happening, and we can cool down the house. With the smoke drifting in from the BC forest fires, we've had air quality warnings. And if you have a parrot, you know parrot lungs are very sensitive. So you don't want to you really don't want to expose them to things like smoke if you can possibly avoid it. And that's essentially what the outdoors was. It was bad for my lungs, bad for the birds' lungs, so we just stayed indoors. Max was not too happy. One evening we did have, it cleared a little bit, a bit of smoke blew off. We ducked outside for a quick shower. And we used Max's brand new sprinkler for that. Max seemed to really enjoy that sprinkler. He does enjoy the patio and he enjoys playing with some water. But beyond that, we've been indoors this week. So the toy of the day today is a cardboard box. We have had this box open before. It's a box of some of Max's toys. I pulled it in the flap to give a flat surface to catch when we were eating. I could put some paper over top. But, if he wants to chew on it, he's quite welcome to. Big Tico might be a little bit jealous in the background, though. So what Max is doing, I'm going to get just a little bit closer here, I think. There you go, Max. Just a little bit closer. He's actually peeling the cardboard, the layers of cardboard apart. And this is definitely great fun. Yeah. Look at you go, Max. So it can be a lot of fun to watch Max shred stuff. He's definitely getting into it right now, so this is going to be the game until he loses interest. And we've definitely talked about the flock before, and I never know what we're going to do on a live stream. I might have a few ideas, but they always get trumped by whatever Max wants to do. You know, he's got his own ideas on what he wants to do. Go. I'm just pulling up a second device. Sorry, I forgot to mute it there. So I'm catching up on a few comments. Yeah, cheese is very tasty, but birds can't digest lactose, so it's not something that they normally get to eat. Occasionally they might get a small, tiny nibble of cheese. They do like it, but you know, they're not going to get a lot of it. It's not super, super bad for them, but they really can't digest it, so it does not do anything for them. KT Spirit says that she can crackle a potato chip bag and has to run from Sparky. I think they absolutely know when we've got something tasty. And, you know, my flock certainly does. Max knows when I'm trying to pawn him off on something healthy while I'm eating something unhealthy. He does not miss a trick. The KT comments that eggs whole will blow up in the microwave. But the thing is, KT, I've taken a fork and given a quick mix between egg and white. It was not a whole egg, it was cracked and stirred. But it was honestly acting as if I put a whole egg in the microwave. Yeah. JL, on your comment earlier, you were actually confusing us with the other Max. There are a couple of parrots named Max that are Moluccans. It really does seem like it is a common name. Max was named, his full name is Maxwell, but he only gets called that when he's getting in trouble. And I think everybody here has heard us call him Maxwell on occasion. But he was named Max by his original owners 27 years ago. He's older than the other Max, and actually when we started Max Moluccan social media, we weren't even aware that there was another Max out there. So we were well established when we realized that there was another Max cockatoo out there, but you know, that's okay. It's a bit of a common name. You know, how many human names are reused? Sort of like Tico. Tico the Gray spells his name Tycho, like Tycho Brahe, scientist mathematician. And there are a lot of Ticos out there that have various spellings of the name. And I think very, very different etymological roots. We also have Tikel, who is an Amazon who stays with us quite regularly. We haven't seen him in a long, long, long time because of COVID, but we're hoping to be able to visit with him again soon as things are opening up and people are getting vaccinated, numbers of COVID are dropping, everything combined. Yeah, Rio's another really common name for parrots. Yeah, I see Sue's talking a little bit about some of her trials and tribulations with her home and some of the construction and the unwanted destruction. So we're really glad that you were able to join us today, Sue. Even if you're not joining us regularly on the chats, everybody's thinking about you, and we are definitely sending out our thoughts to you. Okay, so let's scrolling back to see what other comments I've missed. Okay. Tango says eggs everything. It absolutely does. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm caught up on that. Oh, really good question here coming from Power of All the Fur. How many times does Max scream in a day? Oh boy. Max usually, it will depend what's happening around. Not the chair. You can climb up if you want, but you can't chew on the chair. I think he's going to come down again in a minute. That's a no. Did you forget you're not allowed to chew on the chair, buddy? Rather than chase up and down, I'm just going to give him a minute because I bet you he's going to be back down for his box. He just went poop. Come on down, bud. Let's play with your box. I know! Horrible rules about not chewing on chairs. It's the same color of the box as everything. But if you chew on your chair, you don't have anything to sit on. Yeah, that chair's Max's chair. It actually has a bit of a bent, wonky legs, so it wobbles, and it's not safe for humans to sit on. There we go. So, there you go, Max. Oh, and we're going to walk all the way over here. Let's move back a little bit. Are we in camera? We are in camera. Would you like some paper to play with? Woo! I see it's going to be a game of toss the paper. Max rediscovered his cardboard. Fun. Now you've got a screen so I can see you chewing on the chair. Rooster Sideburns made a comment about birds being a lot like dogs. Well, yes and no. In some ways they are. In some ways they're like cats. But parrots, they are very, very unique. Hey, Max. Got more crinkly paper for you. But you might have to climb down to come get it. I'm going to make you work today. Are you going to work? Yeah, there's a lot happening in comments today. But we were talking about how many times does Max scream in a day. What I was saying about that is it's going to depend a lot what's going on. If he sees me in the same room on a virtual meeting or talking on the phone, he's going to want to get in on that and he's likely to scream. If he hears a brand new voice he's never heard before in a meeting, I do work out of the house like so many people during COVID. He's going to want to join in. If he hears kids outdoors or people playing or walking past, he'll sometimes get excited and do a little bit of screaming. If he sees me cooking and he doesn't have food, he may try a little bit of screaming. Big thing with him is screaming does not work too well to get my attention. It usually does not get him what he wants, and that's really, really important. Otherwise, I will inadvertently train him to scream to get what he wants. Max used to scream nonstop. When I met him 17 years ago, he was a screamer. He would scream and scream and scream and scream, hours on end. And he was really angry with the world. His whole story is available on YouTube. He's calmed down an awful lot. Tico's calmed down a lot too. I mean, Tico's pretty quiet, pretty low key. You know, Tico just has fun hanging out. But Max is definitely more of a handful. He's much more active, gets into a lot more trouble. But yeah, he's going to scream when he wants to scream. So let's see what else we've got in the comments. Oh. Oh yeah, Rooster, he understands what he is and is not allowed to do. He just has a very short memory and conveniently forgets he's not allowed to chew on the chair. Actually, you know what I think it is? He thinks that maybe this time he'll be allowed and he's going to try again. And he gets called out for it every time. And he does understand the voice. He understands when he's doing something he's not supposed to be doing. And he usually backs off pretty quickly. Sue just commented to Christine that she wishes they could talk offline. She thinks they have something in common. Sue, Christine, if you want to connect offline, send maxthemoluccan@gmail.com an email, and I will help connect the two of you. This way you don't have to share your email address online, and I can connect you if that's something you want. I will always double check if I've got your email and somebody's asking to connect. I will check with you first before passing it along, but happy to facilitate that. So I think we've got a lot of people here who are making friends, which is cool. Really, really cool. So what else we got going on, buddy? Oh, preen time. Are you going to stay put for a while? Should I lift the camera? Okay. Let's lift the camera. Whoops. Undo the knob. I don't know why I managed to tighten that knob every time I drop the camera, because it's dropped. It's not going to go anywhere. So Max, do you want to talk about other stuff that happened this week? Max saw that we got some special mail. And we do follow some other birds on social media as well. I'm going to pop that there. I'm going to crack this one up a little bit further. And what we got in the mail is a really, really cute little pouch. And this one came from Makeshift. This is something that we've purchased. And you want to see what's inside, buddy? You want to see what's inside? Let's open it. Do you want to look? This is not for you though, Max. This is for me. So when we open it, we have a plush Alex the Honk. I mean, isn't that super, super cute? I'll try and keep him in the light here. We've got his little crest happening here. We've got, you know, his little tiny heart here, his wings, his tail. They really did a cute job on him. And there's a tag saying only 3,162 made. And Alex the Honking Bird, fueled by fans. So Alex had gotten his plush in progress a number of months ago, and he'd shared it with us a little bit on social media and had started to take some pre-orders when Alex the Honk sadly passed away. And at that point, I think there were a number of us who said, you know what, we absolutely need to get ourselves stuffed Alex the Honk. We want to show our appreciation to his Uman for everything that she's been doing. You know, with that social media, I mean, one little cockatiel who basically traveled the world and everybody got to know him. I mean, she did such a fabulous job with it. So I wanted to show a little bit of support to Annika. So we actually ordered 2. And the second one is for a friend of ours in Calgary. It's sometimes a lot cheaper to order multiples and save a bit on shipping. And our friend, you'll know them as Gonzo the Great, little Gonzo, who passed away a year ago now. Their woman has a larger flock as well, but we picked up one for her. She's aware of it, and we'll be dropping that off to her shortly. But it just seemed right to support Annika and Alex the Honk. Now, her social media is still quite live, and she still has Alex's son, Dominic, who is really fun to watch in his own way. But I think what really makes that account work well is her own spin on how they interact, and her own positive spin on everything that the flock does. Oh my goodness, I see I got a super chat. Let's just adjust the camera here. And then we'll say thank you to Asevu, who suggests put it towards an air conditioner. Absolutely good idea. We actually are keeping an eye out right now for an air conditioner. The problem is nobody seems to have them in stock. Something to do with the fact that everybody right now is looking for an air conditioner. But absolutely, thank you so much. That's always wonderful to have the support of the flock. But yeah, so we were talking a little bit there about Alex the Honk. But I think what really works well for him and his social media is just the attitude that his Uman takes towards everything. And I'm just playing around here with the light a little bit, seeing about different angles. See if that works a little bit better. Yeah, we got some big shadows happening. A little bit more backlighting. Yeah, well, that'll work. There we go. Let's move back. There, we've got the bigger picture. But, we wanted to show a little bit of support. So that was a small way that we could show some support. Let's see what else is happening. We have a group in Calgary called the Calgary Parrot Club. They do a lot of good things for parrot owners. They do a lot of outreach, education. They will help rehome birds. They'll find fosters, like our friend Gonzo the Great does do some fostering for them and for the Calgary Humane Society. But they do a lot of good work. They've had a number of auctions in the past, and we always try to make sure that we support those because, behave yourself, bud. But in the fall, what they usually have is an event called Parrot Palooza. And that is just a one-day event where people can come down. It's usually held at the local community center. They can come down, a number of vendors are there. Usually our friend from Parrot Trends is going to be there. She usually has a table full of wares. There's a few other parrot vendors out there. There's sometimes some draw prizes. There's some local celebrities. Some people bring down some of the flock. Milo, of the fame of making bacon pancakes, usually comes down. And this year, it's happening in September, we have booked a table for Max. So that'll be kind of fun. And if you are in the Calgary area, excellent opportunity to come out and meet Max. It is on a Saturday, and timing may interfere with the stream, but we'll give you lots of advance notice on that. But it's a bit of a fun event to go to, and Max certainly loves people. Max has been missing a lot of social meetups, so we thought, this would be a lot of fun to go to. So we've reserved a table, we've sent in our donation for the table, and we are planning to be there. Now with COVID, you never know what's going to happen. Event might be canceled, but right now we are planning on it for September. So that'll be kind of fun. And I see Max is right back to boxing. So that's coming up. We got a fun package in the mail this week. And I was debating showing everybody what we got this week on the live, but I think I'm going to wait for the unboxing video. We've got it half done, and that's going to be coming out this week. So I think we're going to make every birdie wait, but I'll give you a little bit of a hint. It does have something to do with Max and his harness. The reason why it's taken us a bit of time to put together the video is because it's been so smoky outside. We want to do a few modeling photos outside, and the weather's just not been conducive. We might end up doing those indoors, depending what the weather does the next couple of days. But I'm hoping to have that video out for everybody Monday or Tuesday, because the unboxing videos are a lot of fun. Aren't they, Max? Gotta go poop again? You're giving me the look of a pooper bird. Poop! Good bird. So you'll notice that Max actually climbed up to the top of the chair before lifting his tail and doing his business. I have newspaper all around the chair, but Max has determined that the appropriate spot to go poop on this chair is off the back of it, and he looks down to make sure he hits the newspaper. I always look to make sure I put down the newspaper, but he does understand that there are places he is supposed to go and places where he is not supposed to go. So he has a lot of fun with that, and he knows he's got a pretty good sense of what he's supposed to do and what he's not supposed to do. That's Tico in the background, ringing bells and dripping water. What do you think, Max? Yeah. Oh, you're looking kind of tired. Just gonna hang out quietly, are you, Max? Tico might make an appearance today. Right now, Max is busy with his box. And one thing I do with the flock is Max and Tico do not share perches. I have had them on the same chair before, but we are always cautious about getting them too close to each other. Birds can hurt each other easily, and they may get territorial over things like perches and whatnot. I want to see what Max is going to do with the box for a little bit. Tico would probably enjoy having a good chomp on that box too. Now with Tico, we never know what he's going to do when we go live. Sometimes he's going to behave himself. Sometimes he's not going to behave himself. Sometimes he'll be there for 5 minutes. Sometimes he'll be there for an hour. It can be very hard to determine what Tico actually wants to do. I think in this case, he is aware that there's a box and there's chewing happening. So he probably wants to come out and play for a little bit, but I don't want them fighting over a box. And yeah. So maybe I'll bring him over a little bit later. So hang out with me for a bit. Uh-oh, Tango. Is there a thunderstorm coming, Tango? Yeah, Tango's acting up. I think that he knows that there's a thunderstorm. Yeah, Tango came running inside terrified. She had to medicate him and put on his thunder shirt. He knows about 15 minutes before the storm hits. So now he's freaking out. So he hears it in the distance. He hears it rumbling up. You know, Max is same way. He will tell me when there's something happening. When last year I was out for a walk in the community, and I told him, "Oh no, the storm's a long ways away." And then I kind of came around the corner of a house, and I looked up and I went, "Oh, that cloud is a lot closer than I thought." You know, Max had realized this, even though I had not noticed it. And Max immediately started saying, "Okay, we're going home now," and getting a little bit squirrely. Okay, we'll go home. So I start walking home, and the first raindrops hit. Now, when I'm out for a walk with Max, he knows he can guide me what direction he wants to go. I always like to use the analogy of a Segway. You know how to drive a Segway. If you're on a Segway and you want it to turn left, you lean left. If you want it to turn right, you lean right. And if you want it to go faster, you lean forward. And if you want it to slow down, you lean back. I've never ridden one, but that's my understanding. And it might make you laugh to know, as I was standing here describing that, I was leaning all 4 directions as if I was driving a virtual Segway. How's that for a Segway? But he knows how to get me to walk and turn and go specific directions. And sometimes when we're on an explore, I'll ask him what he wants to do, because I like him to have a little bit of autonomy in deciding where he wants to go within reason. And he usually has some pretty good ideas. So the rain hits, and I find myself walking a little bit faster, followed by myself running. Now, anybody who knows me knows that I don't run. Unless there's something really big chasing me, I usually don't run out of my own volition. But in this particular case, Max realized that the rain was starting to fall and decided that he wanted to get moving right away. And he just leaned until I started jogging, and he was quite happy with the state of affairs, because suddenly I was moving at the pace that he deemed appropriate for the emergency of water dripping on his head. Oops. Just fighting with light here a little bit. There we go. It's a better angle. So he can get me to run if he wants to, but that case, the water was dripping on his head. There's no 2 ways about it. He wanted to be indoors. Are you watching me, bud? Max? Yeah, you can clean your beak. Maxwell, no chewing. Did you get caught chewing on a chair? Did you get caught chewing? You know better. You know better. Would you like another piece of sticky pasta? A piece of dry spaghetti? Pasta. A nice contemplative chew. Thunderstorms really don't bother the flock that much, unless it's a really loud clap of thunder and lightning directly outside in the dark in the middle of the night. That'll send Tico for an absolute flutter. If there is a bad storm at night, I usually come downstairs and I turn on the bathroom light, leave the door partially cracked so that the birds have enough light to see what's going on. If they get scared, they're less likely to hurt themselves if they can see, especially Tico, if he goes for a flutter, if he can see what he's about to crash into, he's less likely to hurt himself. KT says that Remy knows the tornado drill and where to go. She makes KT get to the shelter before the National Weather Service alert, which that's always kind of cool. We've had a few tornado alerts here, and Max has figured it out. The first time we had a tornado alert warning in my life, and I'll point that out, it was my cell phone going off and the radio going off and everything going off. So I was a little bit excited. Now we were in this house, and it was only a few years ago, and the first thing I did is I grabbed Tico, tossed him into a carrier, and then I tried to pull Max out of his cage. Well, Max decided, for safety's sake, perhaps with everything that was going on, he should stay inside of his cage, and he held on to the back of it. I basically had to climb into the cage, peel off his claws, and pull a rather scared cockatoo out of his cage when my phone kept on going off with the emergency alert tones And I'm sure that Max could sense that I was a little bit panicked and he was not sure what was going on, but he knew he wanted no part of it. I actually got him peeled off. All the flock downstairs. I looked. We've got design of this place. We have a garage on one side of the basement, so it's sort of built. We're built a little bit on a hill, so our main floor where the patio is actually one floor above the garage, and we can go down the stairs to the garage inside or go down the hill through some stairs to get to the back of the place. So I was thinking to myself, well, if a tornado hits, I've got one wall that's not going to be very secure. We are a townhouse, so we are attached to another house on one side. I have concrete on two sides, a house on the other side. So I've sort of got sort of three edges covered, but you know, I'm thinking if a tornado hits, basement's the safest spot to be, but how do I make it more secure? I've got a large, what used to be a kitchen island that's been repurposed in the basement. I opened up the doors to the cupboards, ripped everything out of the cupboards, shoved Tico into one of the cupboards, tried to put Max in the other cupboard. He said, forget it. He's holding on to my arm. I figured out I would fit in there. Sat there for a few minutes, realized that the tornado was still a little bit away. So we came out of the cupboard and sat on the chair, but we had a spot where we could take a bit of cover. And, you know, certainly this furniture would be relatively sturdy if there was a problem, and probably better than just sitting. So, yeah, we sort of figured that one out. Now, if there's a tornado warning, we've had a few other ones. Max will actually, did you sneeze? Max will come right to the front of his cage. He's ready to step up. He knows the drill. He's not a huge fan of being downstairs, but he knows that I'm going to be down there. Yeah, another piece. There you go. Yeah, it's Saturday. You can get some treats. Yeah, it is kind of freaky, Rooster, when you see tornado warnings. I've seen a few tornadoes when I've been out on the road. This is always kind of annoying when you're out on a motorcycle, you see a tornado in the distance. It's not what you want to see. Had that happen in the States, and I discovered that public tornado shelters in the States are usually gas stations. They'll have a little tornado sign, and it's the bathrooms that are reinforced that everybody clusters into. So discovered that when I was in the States. And another time I was in Alberta, I was out near Drumheller, and I just started taking some interesting back roads that were going away from the tornado. I did see, there's a big, I don't know the name of the group, but they're storm chasers, and they have quite the distinctive vehicle with all of the equipment and cameras and everything else. They passed me going the other direction. I didn't have time to stop and gawk, but I thought, if the tornado chasers are going towards the tornado, I'm clearly going away from it, so I've got the right idea. Yeah, okay, just catching up here on a few comments. Oh, Chris says that his aviary's done. Chris, I'm looking forward to seeing what you've done for Mr. Bob's. That sounds like it is a luxury accommodation. Yeah, Chris, sometimes the flock has better accommodations than the humans do. Yeah. Max does like to sit on chairs. He'll sometimes sit on perches. I've got the big perch. He actually likes it, but if he drops something loud on it, it makes a big clang, and he still gets a little freaked out. We were able to use it last week. I was not sure how long we would last on that, and if I'd have to put out the paper in the chair. We weren't quite that last week? Yeah, I think it was. We weren't quite prepared to be indoor streaming, but with the weather and an overheating phone, we sort of had no option. Yeah, Rooster, Max hears the emergency warning on the phone, the chimes, and the really urgent voice. And Maxwell, you know you're not allowed to chew on that. As I said so. But Max, that you can climb down, but you can't chew on it. Choose carefully. Okay, we're going down. Let's drop this. Okay, there you go, Max. What do you think? Time for your close-up. Light down here a little bit more. That down back here a little. Oh, there. Now you're better lit. Now we can see your beautiful fluff and chops. Hey, Lucy and Linus are here. Buck, buck. Yeah, Rooster, check the next time you're at one. Look for a little sign that sort of looks like an icon of a tornado. Sometimes they'll have them. I know I found that in some of the Midwest when I was down there. It was an interesting discovery, and it was actually one I discovered when I noticed everybody was clustering at a gas station. All vehicles were pulling off, and people were running inside, and I sort of looked and I thought, is that really safe? And then I noticed the little tornado sign, and I thought, yeah, that's probably the best spot to be because you don't want to be on a vehicle, especially not a motorcycle in a tornado. Yeah, that is Tornado Alley. Yeah, we've got the drill down, and I think it's actually a good exercise for Max to understand what happens and where we go and what we do. Barrie, Ontario, if you're following the news, had quite a tornado hit. Ripped the roofs off of some homes. There's a really iconic video of one homeowner, and she was doing a bit of filming when she came out of the basement. And you hear her reaction when she's looking around at the mess inside of her house and she realizes that the roof's gone. And then she goes outside and she's just absolutely freaked out at the fact that, you know, some of the houses on her street are destroyed and trying to figure out what to do. And I'm thinking to myself, first thing you do is you get outside that house because now it may not be structurally stable depending what's been ripped up. But, you know, it really scary to see the power of Mother Nature. I think, you know, I haven't followed up on the news on that. I hope nobody was hurt on that and it was just, Maxwell, no. I hope it was just property damage because you can always rebuild a house. But if you have injuries, it's much harder to rebuild a person. Hey, Max, what do you think you're doing? What do you think? Okay. Yeah. Max, climb up. I think Max is telling us that it's time to end today's stream, and I've got an idea. Throw up some hearts or a thumbs up. Do you want me to go live with Tico following this? I can bring him over to the chair. There's no promises that he's going to want to go live, but do you want me to give it a try? Let's buck up in the comments. I see a thumbs up from Lucy and Linus. Multiple thumbs up from Lucy and Linus. Nerd Incognito. Rooster. Absolutely Tiffany. Hey, absolutely Tiffany. Always glad to see you. Yes, please, from Audie. Please. All right, Max. Come on. Where do you think you're going? Yeah, Max is saying that he is done with today's stream. So I'm just going to give one last close-up of Max. And I'm going to end this stream and I'm going to start a fresh one with Tico. So bok bok, everybody.